Hello everyone and welcome, it's Shanna. Now today I'm introducing some new Simon Hurley product called Snarky Birthday. Now this birthday set I've been waiting to work on for a while because there was a mistake on it, and so I wasn't sure when they were going to release it. It is a birthday set that has some snarky sentiments. Now this right here, this banner with a happy birthday was misspelled. It says happy birthday, and they had to get this corrected. And I saw Simon's video yesterday. They did get it corrected. What they're doing is they're inserting a package inside of this so that you'll have that same stamp there. It'll just be in addition to what is here, and the die that coordinates with it will still work for it. So they've got that corrected, and so then yesterday he released it. Evidently they must have got the supply of those happy birthday banner stamps come in. And here's the coordinating dies that Spellbinders has made to go along with this set. This set has got happy birthday, make a wish, celebrate, congratulations, and then all of the little snarky sentiments. Birthdays are nature's way of telling you to eat more cake. At this rate, you'll need a leaf blower to put out those candles. Another year older, still a hot mess. Let's hope your warranty hasn't expired yet. Another year, still no idea what a 401k is. Your birthday candles are starting to cost more than the cake. Here's to another year of scrolling TikTok every night at 2 a.m. Welcome to the part of life where hangovers last longer than the parties, and you've reached the age where your back goes out more than you do. And those are the snarky sentiments. Now, I am going to stamp these down, and I'll stamp all of these plus several more, and we're going to come back in, and we're just going to do kind of a mass card making with this. We're going to very simply put together several cards. Now, I will tell you, you need to have ink pads that are very juicy for this stamp set. I had to ink them up several times to get a good solid press. If you watch Simon's video, you'll see that he shows you kind of an ombre technique where he blends them, and they're very lightly inked, and that is how he inked them up. I was trying to get full coverage on the stamps, and so I did have to do quite a bit of inking to get where I wanted to go. I've got some hero hues. I've got 4 minis, and the way that I've placed them on here, the minis work pretty nice because I've got them fairly close together. I've got them far enough apart that I can die cut them with the dies, but I've got them close enough that I can get several images on this sheet of paper. And so I'm just going to ink these up with these little mini cubes, and we're going to have some playful fun colors. I will go off camera and do some additional colors and bring in some distressed oxides because I wanted to see if I could get them to ink up a little bit faster than the little mini cubes, and I did, but you do have to do multiple presses to get, there's a wide area on the stamp on most of these, and so you've got to get plenty of ink on there. And so I just wanted to let you know that you do have to ink them multiple times. Now the sentiments, I've got the VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink, and it's one inking and you're good to go on those. But I will do several presses on these bright colors just to get them filled in the way that I want them. And since I'm pressing again, I went ahead and did my Nocturne ink as well. And so I don't know, I do 3-4 presses on these, maybe more, just to get them inked up really the way that I want them. And then we'll go off camera and I will stamp several others, and then we're going to have just kind of a production line of birthday card making. And they turn out really colorful and fun and playful. I kind of use some simple elements so that I can make some fast cards and just build my birthday stash with this set. And I will tell you, I did not choose to use the snarky sentiments. I used the happy birthday, the make-a-wish, celebrate, and I did wind up using congratulations on another card that I took to a graduation party with me today. And I'm saving the snarky sentiments for the inside. When I'm ready to use the card, I can use the appropriate sentiment for whomever I'm giving this to. So I'm not putting them on there at this point, but I'm going to reserve that for later so that I can choose, the appropriate snarky sentiment that would work if I choose to use this. Now, you don't have to make snarky cards if you don't want to, but there are some fun little sayings. And I'll tell you what, this happy birthday, make a wish, celebrate, and congratulations stamps stamp beautifully, and I think they're a great piece to have for your stash just because I love the font and they're really nice, and you've got the coordinating dies that go with it. So that's what we're doing here. So I think I've got to ink up the blue a few more times, and then we'll be ready to pull it off and do our die cutting. I actually did stamp it a couple more times, but I decided that you didn't need to watch me continue to do it, so I will edit that out. We'll make this the final press and get it going. But like I said, it takes, because there are wide areas on the stamp set, it does take multiple presses to get them good and clean. Now, I will tell you my pink that I used there, it did stain the stamps. I'm going to try some micellar water on it and see if that doesn't help with them, but you can see that the pink is pretty well stained. Anyway, so I'm just going to pull these off gently. I've got that sticky mat in there. It is new and it is really sticky. Now here is the one we pressed, and I did a pink, and then I did another red and blue, and I stamped some of those out and I taped them with some washi tape and tore up some of them, so you won't see me use them all, but we're going to have several elements here that we can use for our cards. And I've got the sentiments, I've got the cake, the packages, the balloons, the strings, and I'm just going to bring in some A2 size card bases. I've got some top folding, some side folding, and I'm bringing in some pattern paper. I'm using some pattern paper from Not Too Shabby and some pattern paper from Cat Scrappiness. They have some really fun patterns that I thought would look good with the birthday and the colors that I've chosen. And this one here is from Not Too Shabby. It's a rainy day pattern, and I'm going to bring in a couple of those, and then I'll bring in a couple from Cat Scrappiness. This one here is from Cat Scrappiness. It's got hens on the back of it, but it had this floral pattern that I thought would be pretty with the pinks. And then I'm going to do a top folding here and just bring in another pattern for this. And what I'm doing is I'm laying all of the card bases down. Now this is a cute one. This is Will Craft for money. It's a crafty set. It's really cute. I think the whole sign she's holding says she'll trade her husband in for craft supplies. Anyway, and then this is another Not Too Shabby. And so I've used just a couple from a couple places where you can really pick up some great pattern paper. I'll try to link this stuff in the description box below so you can check it out if you're interested. But I thought it would be fun to have some vibrant colors in the background for this. And then we'll bring in some white panel to tone it down. Here's some more of that chick or hen pattern paper, but I'm going to use the check because I thought it would look good with the pink. And so we're going to have some primary colors and then some pink pastel colors that we're going to use. And I've taken one of my die sets here. This is kind of a stitched wacky stitched frame. I'll link it as well. And I've just created some panels, so we'll have some white space to lay some things. And then I'll bring in another die as well. And we're just going to build quickly several birthday cards with the elements that I have stamped up. And you can see now I do have pretty good stamped images there where I've made multiple inkings of it. And I'm just going to layer up my balloons, and I'm positioning them. Some of them I didn't stamp as well, and so I'm just going to kind of lay them on top of each other so that we've got some good, clean, inked balloons. And we'll add the little strings to them, and we're just going to tuck those in with our card. And we're just going to make, it's just going to be rinse and repeat. I'm just going to keep kind of doing the same thing with all of these, and I think we come up with 5 birthday cards all ready to go. So for this one, I'm getting my cards laid in front of me so that I can look at them. I'm going to lay the balloons on the right side of it, and then we'll just lay our packages underneath, and then we'll bring our happy birthday sentiment in, and we've got just a fun, playful birthday card. And then if you want to add Snarky to it, you certainly can. I could do that on the inside if I want to do that. So I needed to turn this landscape because these packages are pretty big, and I'm trying to show some of that pattern paper and then use that white panel. So I'm just going to get my happy birthday laid down on there, and then we'll bring in some gems from Spellbinders. I've got some Cosmic Sky colored gems, and I'm just going to add some of those to the white spaces on the card, and we'll just add a little bling to it. But this is a super fun set. Now, if you watch Hurley's video, he does a lot of different techniques with it. He brings in some of his, inks and some of his solar paste and different stuff like that. But he does show these stamps in kind of an ombre inking technique. So I've got my gems laid down. We've got our first one, and we're just going to keep going. Now I'm going to bring in the pink one that we've kind of got a gingham pattern on it. And I'm just going to try and figure out how I can make this work. And you can see I'm just testing it out. And I've decided to turn it to where it is portrait, and I'm going to bring in the bigger frame. I cut some big ones and some little ones. The little ones are just not working for me, so I'm going to use the bigger frames. I'm going to bring in some baker's twine that I have here kind of in the pink, and I'm just going to tie a little bow in it and just add some texture just to kind of make this one have a little bit different interest to it. And this was a scrap piece that was laying over in my little twine area. So I'm getting that off of my desk. I'm adding a little bit of texture to this card, and we're going to make a pink birthday card. And since I added the twine, I'm going to use some foam to pop it up and to kind of secure my twine in place. And we'll just lay it down on here. And then I'm going to grab an extra little piece. I've got the twine butted up next to the foam on one side, and I'm going to put one on the other just to kind of keep it in place so that it's not moving around. And we'll get it laid down on this checkered pink pattern paper. And then we're going to bring in some of our stamped elements. I've got the pink cake, in which I have used spun sugar and Kitsch Flamingo. The cake is Kitsch Flamingo. The candles are spun sugar, and I did the same thing with the balloons, and I'll pair them up and add a couple of balloons to our card. I'm going to use the polka dot and then the solid on this, and we'll use our Make-A-Wish sentiment. And I'm trying to decide, do I want it up top or do I want to put it across my cake? And so I'm going to bring in a couple of the balloons. We'll just pair them up, and we'll get them laid down on here. And I'm going to have a little supply of birthday cards. I've been having people asking me for birthday cards, and I haven't built up my stash of birthday cards lately, so this is going to help. And I think these are simple enough that they could work for anybody. And I've kind of got the primary scheme and then the pink scheme, and so that you've got some options there for whomever you want to give the cards to. I'm just going to tuck the strings of the balloons underneath my candles, and it's going to look like my candles are going to set my balloons on fire. And then we'll add our sentiment down there, and we'll add some enamel dots. I've got some light pink enamel dots as well, and we'll just add those. And we've got our second card. And we've got a 20-minute video, and I've got 5 cards made here. So not too bad. I did speed it up a little bit, but not anything excessive. So I'm going to get my Make-A-Wish laid down there on my cake, and then I'll bring in some of those pink gems. I've got a light pink and a dark pink, and I'm going to use the light pink on this one, and we'll just lay 3 of those gems down, and we're going to call this card finished as well, and we'll just move on to the next one. So I've just got myself a little assembly line going, and we're going to get some cards made. Now for this one, this is also part of that, I think, rainy day paper from Not Too Shabby, and I've got another panel. I'm choosing the smaller one here, and I'm going to make it work with the cake, the blue cake and the red candles. I think that'll look great with it. Straightening up my panel there, adding my candles to my cake. We're going to position that off to the side, and then we'll bring in a happy birthday sentiment, and we'll get it laid down on there. I'm trying to decide which direction I want. I actually land on this, and we're going to do it just like this. So we'll get it laid down on there. I'm kind of cleaning up I had something sticky on there. I think it was some of the washi tape that I used to hold the dies down. So I was picking it off there. And then we're just going to bring in another happy birthday sentiment. We'll bring in some more of those Cosmic Sky gems. Like I said, keeping it super simple, but really cranking out some birthday cards. I'm just going to split this foam tape in half so it'll be small enough to go across my happy and my birthday, and we'll get it laid down on here. And there we go. We got to get laid in the right direction. And I'm going to get some gems laid down. We're going to bring in the Cosmic Sky again, and we'll put 3 gems on this, just filling up some of the white space. And I'm just going to get it tucked in there. So there we go. We've got 3 cards. So we've got 2 more left to go. And I'm going to bring in that teal and pink colored cardstock, and we're going to bring in some pink elements for this. I've dropped the card. I'm trying to pick it up so I can look at it. And for this one, I decided those panels that I got did not work, so I'll go off camera and bring another one in, and we'll use it. And here I've decided to bring in the open lace frames and landscape die set and just use this. And we're actually going to use it on the last two cards and just have a little bit more of an area to lay our things down. Now I've got it laid on there, and the 4 packages still want to hang over that. And so I'm still going to mess around with it a little bit and trying to decide what I want to do. I really want that pink on this one. And so what I'll do is I'll decide that, hey, I can cut these packages apart and we can position them on there like that. So I'm just going to snip one of those off, and we're going to have 3 packages on this one, and then we'll add those 2 pink balloons. We'll bring in a happy birthday sentiment, we'll bring in some gems, and we'll have another card made. Okay, so I'm back. I had to actually pause the recording of this because I had to go with my husband. We went to dinner and to a concert. My husband has his classmates like to get together pretty regularly, and they had planned to go out to dinner this evening and then to a concert. And so I was doing this voiceover, and it was like, oh, it's time to go. So I had to just pause it. And so we went out to dinner. We went to a local Mexican restaurant and had dinner with the group. And then we went to the concert. It was a Jimmy Buffett tribute concert. And we went to that concert and enjoyed that. And then we got done, came out of the concert. My husband said it's still light outside. So, and we live near the center where the concert was. So we're home just in a split second. And so then I thought, well, I'll go ahead and get this finished. So I'm getting the happy birthday laid down on here. We've got the 2 balloons, and then we're going to add some gems, and we'll finish up this card. And I think we just have one more to go. And I apologize if I'm repeating anything, but it's been several hours since I started the voiceover. Anyway, so I think it looks really pretty with that scallop frame we've got on there, and we're going to use that one on the next card as well. So we'll just bring in the elements for that, and we'll get to assembling it. So I've got another one of those open lace frame and landscape panels here, and I'm just going to glue this one straight down. We've got kind of a plaid 2-tone pink pattern paper there, and we're going to use the pink cake with the yellow candles, and we're going to try and use up some of those other elements that we have left there. So we'll just get this laid down on there. And we did cut that 1 pink package off of the last card, so I'm going to just trim it. We're going to use it, and then I'm going to trim away some of these here, and we're just going to position some presents with our cake and our candles. And then we'll have kind of a different look here. So I'm just going to layer these up. I'm going to put the 2 blue ones, I'm just going to glue them straight down, and we'll just pop up the pink one kind of in the center of them. And then we'll bring in our sentiment. We're going to use Make a Wish on this particular card. And we'll get our pink package laid down there. And then I still have a couple of happy birthdays and a congratulations sentiment. And so I've got some extra. And what I did was I just stored them in my die envelope where I keep my dies. And then I'll have them for the next time I need them. If I go to pull that out, I actually have some that are already stamped and die cut and ready to go. And that will save me a step the next time I go to use them. I'll just have them positioned in there. So here are our 5 cards with Simon Hurley's newest release. And I've taken some pictures. I hope you like them. If you do, consider hitting that like. And if you have not subscribed, I'd love to have you subscribe to my channel. I appreciate you watching. Here's a couple more videos for you to check out.